If you just had a hair transplant and you start noticing your hair falling even more than it was before, welcome to the shedding phase, my friend. There's not just a shedding phase you have to go through after a hair transplant, but there's also the shock loss phase. And a lot of people don't really know what the difference is between the two. So I'm here to clear that up for you. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what exactly shedding is, what exactly shock loss is, and most importantly, what you can actually do during this phase to help protect your grafts and get the best result possible. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Amit, and if you don't already know, I had not one but 2 hair transplants done in Istanbul, Turkey. I got 6,000 grafts extracted from my donor area and placed onto my hairline and mid-scalp for the first time, and I went back for a second time to get the crown done of about 4,000 grafts. So I've been through the shedding and the shock loss phase twice, and it's no joke. If you want to learn a little bit more about shedding and shock loss as well, I have it in my hair transplant post-recovery guide. Definitely check that out if you are interested in getting some sort of visual aid in helping you learn what you need to do exactly after your hair transplant. Check them out. There's also a free guide if you haven't gotten a hair transplant yet. Pick it up. It's all linked in the description below. And also, of course, definitely consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, if you just want to continue learning more about hair transplants, hair loss, and of course, get the best results possible for yourself. So let's start with shedding. Shedding is when the transplanted hairs fall out after a few weeks from your surgery. Yes, it will look bad, but it's something you have to go through. It's not something we can avoid, and that's kind of why a lot of people call it the ugly duckling phase. You don't look the best, but again, over time, it gets better. But here's the part that matters. The hair isn't actually falling out and dying. It just means that the transplanted hair that has been placed onto your scalp will definitely fall out, but the bulb of the hair that's already under your scalp stays in. It just has to go through a hair loss cycle where basically the old hairs are falling out so the new hairs can grow back out. Shedding can occur as early as about 3 weeks. It usually lasts for about a month and a half to 2 months. That first 2 months is really where the hair will continuously fall, and there's no real way around it. You'll especially notice your hair falling out on your pillowcases, on your hand, even in the shower. Any possible opportunity where you touch your head, you'll start seeing more and more hairs fall out. When you get a hair transplant, the first month of your head looks as if you've just gotten a buzz cut, and overall you still look as if you have some hair on your head. But as time progresses, those hairs will start falling off and it will leave more and more bareness on the top of your head. So it's not a bad sign, it's meant to happen. So shock loss is a little different, and this is where a lot of people get confused. Shock loss affects your original hair, not the transplanted ones. So hair that was already on your head, especially the weaker and the thinning ones, will most likely fall out during this period because your scalp has just gone through a huge major surgery, and those hairs are probably not strong enough to hang on post the transplant. They mostly can fall out because of the surgical trauma, inflammation, and disrupted blood flow. This tends to happen around the transplanted zones in areas that were already thinning from before, and usually a few weeks as well after surgery. So visually, along with the shedding and the shock loss, you're not going to look that great. And ultimately, shock loss can also look even worse than the shedding because the hairs around that area could fall out and be more impacted over time. When I went through my phase of shedding and shock loss, I honestly thought that I was heading the wrong direction post my transplant. When I saw how I looked from the 2nd to 3rd month, I couldn't believe it because it looked worse than it was even before I went for my surgery. So that really was disheartening, but honestly, you just have to stick it out and get through this phase. One of the main things that I feel helped me to make sure I could get my follicles revived and pushed through was using Nanoxodil. Nanoxodil is proven to help grow hair on your head over time, especially if you're consistent with it. So if you can maintain that consistency and keep doing it at least twice a day, morning and night, you will definitely see that difference over time. Now, during shock loss and shedding phases, Minoxidil is not going to miraculously cure that area and be able to make it grow out faster and faster. It's more of a slow game. It's preparing your scalp for the months after that. Because when I saw my hair after the 3rd and 4th month, the growth amount was significantly different versus how my hair looked from the 2nd to 3rd month. So I definitely do think Minoxidil played a big part in making my hair grow during that phase. If you're interested as well, there is links in the description below of the Minoxidil that I currently use. You can get a discount with it as well. It's all linked below. Another important thing I think that helps prevent more shock loss is actually taking finasteride. Now I know a lot of people don't like to take finasteride because of its known side effects, but honestly it's not as common as you think. I know a lot of people who've taken finasteride through the pill form and they've been completely fine. I myself have never had any sort of side effects, but ultimately finasteride does help counter at least some of that shock loss because it helps save your existing hairs on your head. That's the main functionality of finasteride. It helps block DHT on your scalp in order to save those hairs that you've had before. Now fear not, if you're worried about taking the pill and getting those side effects, there's always an alternative such as the topical solutions. I currently take the topical now because my hair is very stable and is very good. I don't have to worry about so much hair falling out anymore. The pill usually is stronger and more potent to be able to get a better result. But if you're uncomfortable taking the pill because of the side effects, you can always take the topical version as well. I've also got links in the description below of the ones that I currently use that have discounts attached to it as well, so definitely check it out. So when you're actually out of the shock loss and the shedding phase, you will start to see your hair actually grow more and more. That doesn't mean that you're not going to keep shedding over time. There definitely will be times that you'll see hairs falling out and it might worry you a little bit. But there is really nothing to fear because the hair is just going through its natural cycle where it has to push out the older hairs in order for new ones to grow, especially in the transplanted areas on your scalp. Now for the hairs that are actually falling out that aren't from the transplanted areas, it's still really important to continuously be on minoxidil and finasteride, as well as other supplements that help keep your hair in the long run. Depends on the type of hair loss you have. If you started out as a Norwood 7 where you basically didn't have that much hair, you don't have any more to lose in the future. However, if you've just maybe gone for a hair transplant at Norwood 2 or Norwood 3, you still have a lot more hair to save. So you really have to think about what you're planning to do when you get a hair transplant and how to combat these phases in order to make sure you get the best result possible and the most density on your head. Now, like I said, if you've had a hair transplant, I have a post-hair transplant guide that's listed in the description below. Check it out. It is really useful. A lot of people have bought this guide already and they've only told me great things, that they're really enjoying it. I have a special 10% discount for you right now if you end up purchasing it from the link below. So check it out. I promise you it'll be worth it because it will help you in the long run, as well as guide you along the way about how to recover post your hair transplant. Also, if you want to have a conversation with me and just talk about what's going on with your hair, or even just have a conversation about what after products to take, or basically if you haven't gone for a hair transplant, you want questions about knowing what clinic to go to, you can book a one-on-one call with me. I have a hair transplant consultation service that basically we can talk about any of these things, and I'm happy to have that conversation with you and to help guide you along the way. There's a link in the description below for that as well. Definitely check it out. Let me know in the comment section below if you're going through shock loss or even shedding and how you're combating that in order to get the best result possible. Would love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. All right, I think that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. Definitely consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.